Good morning. We are representing the Loizac Muscatine National Honor Society. I'm McKenna Honottle, the president of our chapter.
I'm Bryn Jamby. I'm the secretary.
I'm Aubrey Snedden.
And I'm Destiny Miller.
So today we are going to be talking about our craft and vendor show. We are really excited for it. It's this Saturday, November 20th at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so Destiny's going to take us through what it took to create this show for you guys and just kind of what all went behind the scenes.
First, we had to figure out a date and time, and then we had to create flyers to put up around Muscatine to advocate for our vendor show. Then we had to figure out the spaces for our vendors, and then once Saturday comes around, we'll help the vendors get set up, and we'll have valet parking and walk around to see if the vendors need any help with anything.
All right, so some of our amazing vendors that are going to be at the show are going to be BU Designs, which is one of our chapter leaders. She's going to be selling t-shirts, earrings, koozies. There's also going to be an L&M alumni there, Designs by 88. She's going to be selling some handmade tumblers. We're also going to have AJ's Salsa and More, Barn Sour Boutique, Emily Jane Maid, Farmhouse Wonders, Scentsy, Tupperware, 31, Kay's Creations, and many others. So Bryn's going to take us through what some of our NHS people are going to be doing at the vendor fair.
I'm going to do this part. So yeah, as Aubrey stated, we have a lot of amazing vendors coming, and there's going to be a variety of stuff to see. So the whole vendor show is a fundraiser for us to pay for our trip, which Bryn's going to talk about in a little bit. It is in March. And so how we get some money is the vendors have to pay, of course, to have a booth at the fair. And then there's a $2 admission to come to the show. Throughout the show, we'll be selling raffles for a big prize at the end. So be looking out for that. And then our NHS members will be going through and selling hot chocolate, cider, coffee to vendors or to people. And then this is new this year for us. We will be doing valet parking. So that's pretty exciting, especially because it's cold out. No one wants to get out and find their spot and then have to walk forever. So Bryn will be one of the parkers. So hopefully she does a good job and whatever. So we're really excited. There will be a lot of stuff going on and it's going to be a great day. So as I said, Bryn's going to talk about why we really do this show and how the money will be used for our trip.
So this vendor show is really important for us. It brings in a lot of money for us. And we have a service trip every year. And we usually do different kinds of areas. Sometimes we're in the city, sometimes we're in a more rural area. This year we are going to be in Harlan, Kentucky, which is by the Appalachian Mountains. And we're going to be working with a group called SWAP, which is serving with Appalachian people. And these trips mean a lot to us and we really enjoy them. Not only is it a great bonding experience for us, but we learn a lot and we really do contribute to the community that we travel to. So we are super excited for this, and this vendor show really contributes to our ability to be able to do that. So,
yeah. So just a little bit about National Honor Society. We have some pillars that we follow: character, service, scholarship, and leadership. And so all the members of this really strive to be that for our school and be leaders of our school. And so as members, we do other community events. Of course, the trip to Kentucky will be our biggest. But this, of course, is a community event. And recently, we actually just went through a house and painted a fence for someone. So those are just some like little things that we do as an NHS. And it's really cool to be a part of. So do you guys have anything else?
I do.
Yeah?
Something that makes our NHS really unique is that we do have a great bond in our group. We all have a common goal that we really strive towards. And every other week we have team bonding just to really, strengthen our relationships and get to know each other because it's awesome to really be part of a group that everybody wants the same thing and they actually work towards it. So I really love that about our group.
You want to say something? Okay.
So we really hope everybody comes out. It's going to be Saturday, November 20th from 9 a.m. to 2 at the Louisa Muscatine High School.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're excited. Hope to see you guys there. There'll be lots of vendors, so you'll be busy. And like she said, Saturday, November 20th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Louisa Muscatine High School.
Won't work out in a single plan.
All right, so it is officially Wellness Wednesday on the show, and Scott is here with me this morning. I am stoked to get started. We really today, I think, if I'm correct, we're going to kind of give an overview of why our experience at Impact is different from going other places, you know, and why you and Autumn have chosen the route that you have for all of us, which I'm super glad, and I'm finding out that the experience there is so much different than the experience I've had at any other gym or any other exercises that I've done on my own. So I'm excited to share that all with you guys. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah, and we'll try not to get lost in the weeds a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes I am passionate about talking about sandbags and what we do at Impact, but I don't want you, as you're drinking your coffee, just kind of hit the snooze button and fall asleep. So we'll try to keep it as light as possible.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I also am a talker, so I'll try to do the same. I'll try to keep my mouth shut as much as possible.
We're both talkers, so that's okay.
I'm getting excited about Impact, so I talk about it a lot. I'm drinking the juice, as they say.
Well, good.
And getting excited. So.
Good. So you know, as we chose our path with Impact, we dabbled in sandbags really early on, and during the shutdown last year at this time, we just reevaluated how we wanted to go about going, you know, as we come out of the pandemic, as we come out of our shutdown, how do we want to, I don't want to say rebrand, we didn't rebrand, we just upgraded how we did our workouts, and so very safely as possible. Fast forward, we really jumped into the world of DVRT Ultimate Sandbag. DVRT stands for Dynamic Variable Resistant Training. And with that, and I have just one of the 10-pound sandbags here. This is our core bag. We also have a power and a strength bag over here that we'll get into a little bit later. The material that's in here, we call it a sandbag. And I don't think we could be any more Midwestern, especially Iowa, in how we fill these bags. And the reason we fill them with what we do, one, it's Iowa corn, and two, Mississippi sand, Mississippi River sand that we've dried and cleaned. Actually, a friend of ours, one of our part-time coaches, Cindy Clevey, commandeered the sand for us and dried it and cleaned it, and that's the filler.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about why we use this and where we're going to go with today, talking about instability, we work instability into our workouts to make you more stable. The instability of this bag, what's great about it is that the load continually shifts. If you think about a dumbbell or a barbell, it's a known quantity in regards to if you're lifting it, if you're pressing it, pushing it, pulling it. It's very symmetric in regards to its weighting. Well, unless you put wrong plates on the wrong side, then it becomes unstable. But the fun stuff about the bag is that you never really lift it twice the same way.
Yeah.
Your body is always supporting it. It's not compensating, but it's supporting your effort to be able to lift or press or push or pull. And then we start talking about our 7 primal movements. As we go forward with this program, we're going to talk about and highlight particular movements. Next month, we're going to talk about the hinge. We're going to talk about squatting, pressing, pulling, and how that relates to not only our workouts. We live in a 3D world. So as we turn around, what are we doing? We play in a 3D world. We work in a 3D world. So why not lift in a 3D world? Yep. And so that's the exciting thing about that. And with our sandbags, we can promote that strength in our body to help us get past those instabilities.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I don't want to get lost in the weeds on this. I want to make this really fun. So we're gonna demo here in a little bit. But when we talk about instability, what does instability mean? There are basically 5 different categories. Yep. And we talk about our load position. So how do we load the sandbag into how we work out? Our body position. We can create the same load for everybody, but then we change the body position. Now all of a sudden there's different demands on the body. I talked about living in a 3D world and working out in a 3D world. So we have this front to back plane. We walk, we run, we lift. We do everything and it's called the sagittal plane. So everything this way. The second plane is the frontal plane. So that's moving side to side, anything laterally. And then we have this rotational plane, or it's also called transverse plane. So think about, and I think you did the workout, I think we did this last week, or it was a couple weeks ago, about what I call taking the groceries from the bottom and putting them on the top shelf. That is rotating. Think about as you're going through the grocery store here, what are you doing? You're rotating to grab something and you're putting it in the golf cart.
In the golf cart. He's thinking about he's got golf on the mind.
Into the grocery cart. So we're always rotating. And then we have the instability of this, and that we talked about that, how it's loaded with corn and sand, and how that keeps shifting left and right, up and down, and then the speed at which we lift. So those are the instability categories that we can put into our workouts.
Yep.
One of the fitness experts, Owen Cosgrove, super nice guy from Ireland, and he's got some great stories. I was fortunate enough to meet him 2 years ago. 2 years ago at Perform Better in Chicago, and he owns a studio out in California. So the developer of this, Josh Hankin, those two are really good friends, and Alan describes this instability of weight. Imagine deadlifting 100 pounds with a straight bar. Your brain processes, okay, this is simple, I know this movement. Now, compare that to a sandbag and try to pick up a child that weighs 100 pounds, and there's the difference. Yep. So you have a very stable lifting implement, if you will, and then lifting that child all over the place and you're compensating. So that's what it's like to lift our sandbags. Each repetition becomes different. There's a different demand on the body. Even within the 20, 30, or 60 seconds that we're working out, each repetition is different.
Yep, so. Absolutely.
And you're learning this as well.
I am learning this, yes.
And the great thing is we had our friend Corey Kripe from Fitness Lying Down up in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He's a master DVRT trainer. And he came in, and you were fortunate enough to be in the workshop. Yeah. I'm sure he could have talked for another 4 hours. He's very passionate about sandbags as well, and how everything through his fitness studio in La Crosse, how they do their work. That workshop for you obviously just ramped up your ability to do everything.
For sure.
Me as a coach, I can take our non-stable holding positions, if you will. And I can, whether it's you, whether it's somebody here in the crowd, whether it's our wonderful staff here behind the scenes that you never really get to see, I can change those holding positions to create success in what you do and still build that confidence in doing the work. So that's the great thing with there again with the sandbags. In any type of progressive overload training, progressive overload basically is you start increasing the reps, or you start increasing the weight, or you start creating the efficiency and trying to do more in less time. There's 9 variables that are pretty much standard for everything. We talked about, we have holding position, we have body position, stability, plane of motion, and speed. We have range of motion, the load, the volume, the density. The first 5 I mentioned are very unique to our DVRT system that we use at Impact: the holding position, body, stability, plane of motion, and speed. And that's where we are really kind of going to go today. We're going to introduce everybody to what the sandbag can do, and how we'll show the different hand holding positions. We won't go into body position yet, but we'll show different movements, standard movements that we can do. And of course, I'm going to be coaching, cueing you, and you're going to be doing this. We want to go. Where are we going to go from here?
Let's go. Let's go do it. Let's jump in.
All right.
Heck yeah.
So I'm going to bring this bag over because this will be the easy one to show.
Okay.
And as you look at the bag, you have the handles on here. So I'm going to give this bag to you.
Got it.
So we're going to start off with the different holding positions. We have the single handle as our suitcase position. Exactly. Okay. Carrying a suitcase, carrying a purse, this is our suitcase position. We have our neutral handles. That's our second position. What we can do, we also have in handles. That's the third position that we have. A fourth one, we can actually grab the bag itself, whether it's in this vertical format or horizontal format. Exactly. We can also create an unstable holding position that whether it's grabbing the bag, or we can have the handle, and we have our neutral handle. So you can see the versatility of everything. Now, do we use, can we use all of those holding positions for every position, for every body position? No. For every movement? Absolutely not. There are some that are going to be better than others. Also, put the bag on your shoulder. A simple shouldering. This is one to be able to create instability, and we can have a stable body position. But now the body demands for this bag on this shoulder is going to be different than it would be in. I'm going to have you put this in our front load position. So we're going to get that. That's our front load position. So we now have another holding position. Now, this is only 10 pounds. It's a little bit difficult, but go ahead and put that on your fists. Oops. There we go. We have another holding position. So each one of these positions demands a different aspect of what your body can do. If on an entry level and getting beyond a body weight, we can put this bag into the front load. And go ahead and put it in the front load position. And if you were to do a squat, I'm not going to require you to do a squat right now, but the demand on your body, your upper body, is going to be different for you. Now, if I'm a little bit more advanced and this bag were heavier, I can put it on the front load fist position, and then now I can do the same exact workout as you. I'm just adding a little bit more demand. I'm not changing the way we work out, I'm just changing what the body demand is. If you're not ready for this, we're going to put you in the front load. It's simple as that. We do not go into any workout aiming to hurt anybody, obviously. Safety's always there. we want, at the end of a workout, we want your muscles singing, not screaming. If they're screaming, if you've injured yourself and you feel as if you can't really walk out the door and you're going to crawl out the door because you've gone way beyond your body capacity, that's not what we're about.
Right.
You will be sore enough after these workouts that you know you're going to do something.
Yep. The thing that I have noticed, even in the same exact position, so even if I'm here and I'm doing a squat, it's amazing how the movement of the sand when you're doing those squats or whatever it is that you're doing, like just how like the muscles in your body are, like you said, like working differently just because the sand shifted in my movement, and now like this side of my body's working a little bit harder, you know, until it shifts. It's
Exactly.
just it's crazy how the movement of the bag really changes the workout even throughout that 60 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, and now if you've been paying attention, we what was it? There's 11 different ways to hold the bag, and I have my cheat sheet. Oh, I even forgot one. Let's put it on the end, and let's cup the hands underneath. So we'll go vertical here, and then have the hands underneath and down here. And then bring it into the body. This is a simple bucket position. So that's one of the easier ones, and I totally had forgotten that. Now, here's the other one. Wrap the arms around it. We did bear hug squats on Monday. This is another position. So you can see, it's not really the most friendly to be able to do a barbell or a dumbbell and hold this.
Yeah.
So 11 different holding positions to be able to change the demands of your body as we work out. And if you notice, of those 11, we did nothing on the back. We don't do back squats at impact. And by loading a bar on your back, it compresses the spine. We can work just as well and create just as good of a workout in the front load than we do in the back load. And have been studies shown that holds true. It's just not hearsay. There's scientific studies out there that have proven that. And the fact is that we can actually have 30 pounds less on this front load position. It's not a front squat, but it's a front load position than the back. So if we're doing, let's say, if you're doing a 100-pound back squat with a barbell, and you're able to get 70 pounds into this front load, we can produce the same amount of muscle gain, etc., based off this study. So, I mean, we're there again. Safety is a priority.
Yeah.
Now, so let's talk about some of the positions that we do. And unfortunately, I forgot to bring a knee pad
That's okay.
or a mat.
I'll survive.
So let's talk about the press out. And there again, we can hold this in a different position, whether it's on the end. Now, as I mentioned, further episodes every month, we're going to start talking about different primal movements, hinging and squatting. And this isn't really about any of those motions, even though we're going to get into this movement. It's all about the holding position and how we can change this differently. So what I want you to do is we're going to hold this at the belly button, more specifically. And we were talking about this earlier before the show started, that tension is good in a workout. This sort of tension during our workday, bad. When we're here and really closed off, when we're working out, even worse. So as we look at something like a press out squat, we can do this from different body positions. And in this case, we're just going to do it in a squat. And so what we look at is exactly that. And so then we'll stand back, stand tall. Let's bring the bag down a little bit more. So now what we're doing, grip strength. One of the great little 4-word phrases, strong feet, strong grip, or strong feet, strong hands. It's amazing how when we can get strong feet, how that goes up the chain strong grip, how that works just as well to create irradiated tension. So what we're gonna do here is that press out squat. And so we're pressing out, we're squatting. The goal here, because this is a counterweight, is that it allows us to have an upright torso. There's two different types of squats, a glute dominant and a quad dominant squat. Glute dominant is more of the upright torso. A quad dominant squat, everything's getting pulled this way, and we're doing, all of a sudden we're squatting, we're looking at the ground. That's what we want to get out of. This counterbalance, as we come out, promotes that upright torso. Let's see. So now keep the handles there and a strong grip. Let's lower it a little bit. Now, as we press out, rotate the weight. Just a simple modification in this. And there again, this is more of a leveled up type of movement that if someone doesn't necessarily have the motion down, it's just going to be a straight pull out. Exactly. Now, we can also, let's go vertical on the bag, still grabbing it, have it low, and do our press out. Still in the same manner, let's press out a little bit lower. There you go, perfect. Here's the beauty of this. We can go low on the bag. So now let's grab the, let's grab the bag in a lower position down here and go ahead and do our press out. Guess what? That's a little bit lighter. Feels a little bit easier. Now go up to the high portion of it, and it's a little heavier. We've not changed the weight. We've not changed the movement, but we've adapted it to the result that we want to get.
Yeah.
So there again, that's this is very difficult in any other type of implement to be able to use, especially well, a 7-foot barbell, can't use that, but even with a dumbbell, it gets a little bit more difficult and a little less uncomfortable, especially at weight. So, you know, leverage, we're looking at full body tension, how I cue you, and let's go back to that squat real quick, just for a second. And so the way I would cue you, and you've already heard this a little bit, strong grip. And we're gonna bring the bag to the belly button. We're promoting use through the lats. We're not gonna push through the shoulder like this. So we're really getting the shoulders down and back. With the feet, I wanna have you rip the ground apart. Think of a piece of paper and you're gonna try to rip that ground apart. So now what we've done is that I'm not cueing you to tell you keep your knees apart. I'm just telling you to rip the ground. Then the other one, press into the ground. It's getting into summer, so we're always thinking about beaches and whatnot. My cue for you is that wet sand on the ocean, putting you in a nice happy place. Heck, it could be down by the river, that's okay.
Yeah.
But pressing down in the sand and trying to push down into the ground, recruiting the appropriate muscles to get you through the movement.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, perfect. So now let's look at a different hand holding position. This is the bear hug. Now, what I want to make sure, those of you watching at home, this is just, this is our core bag, 10 to 15 pounds. We can go up to 20, generally have it 10 to 15. This is not the only bag we have. We're gonna kick Ashley into, she loves this bag. It's a pink bag, and we all know why.
It's my favorite.
It is. And we have our strength bag, which is even bigger. So we don't necessarily utilize this bag for our bear hug squats. We try to go for the bigger bag. But just for today, we're gonna show you, what's going on. So this is our bear hug. And what we're doing is that we're trying to rip that bag apart. This is our favorite little toy growing up, and we're giving it a big hug. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to rip this bag apart. There again, setting the shoulders, and then go ahead into the squat. This also promotes, this is one of the most stable positions that we have. This also promotes that upright chest, getting out of that quad dominant squat. Because here's the thing, if you were to go into that quad dominant squat and come here,
Yeah.
that weight's going to pull you forward. So it helps you and assists you get into the position that you want. Let's go into a front hold. And you stop me, I'm just talking. This is a very high level demonstration here. So let's bring it into the front load, into the crux of the elbows. Yep, so what we cue here, and there's two ways to be able to hold this. One with the handles, and two, we can come out and cup the bag. But what we're trying to do is then set those shoulders back, pulling them back. We sit at our desks enough. We sit at tables enough. We probably do it here and you don't know it when we're on our phone. So we're here. What do we see? All of a sudden we're closing in. So that's why we cue all the time to be able to pull these shoulders down and back, to be incredibly stable up here. Now, in this front-loaded position, we can do a squat. We can do a lunge. So let's just do either a step back lunge or a drop step lunge, or, oh my goodness, all right, or a or a front lunge. We can do a front lunge, and then let's do one more, and rotate towards me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Front lunge and rotate towards me. So this is the glory of that hold position. There again, if we're not stable in this rotation, we'll just do this front load until we're able to build that stability in. We can do a march. We have marches on Friday. We have front load marches at weight. So here, now, one of the primal movements is gait. So we're just going to march in place. There again, how does the body react when we march 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds, whatever we get up into. So we're working on our gait, understanding that we have one leg stability. When we're walking, 80% of your weight is on,
I know, I'm like ripping my
we
neck
probably
off.
have a lot of right now. 80% of your weight is on one leg at any given time as we're walking. When we're running, guess what? 100%. One-legged stability is incredibly important as we go. As are a lot of things. We may get into a screening next time I'm here before we even get into the hinge and why hips are important. Let's go front load fist. I'll tell you what. Let's go into your favorite pink bag.
Oh, yeah.
And what I want to impress upon people. Go ahead and put that one right in the, even with that one, and right here. Now, if you can see this, if we're able to see this on screen, is that this one is a little smaller in terms of length, smaller in terms of girth. This one's a little bit bigger. Handles are a little farther apart, and then as we get into our strength bag, how that is. So it's really kind of fun to watch people. Maybe they struggle with 20 or 30 pounds in this, but if you put the same 30-pound weight into this, it actually becomes easier.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about that, but our burly bag, which we load up 80 pounds, up to 120 pounds, I think that we have at the studio. That one's even bigger.
That with like one finger.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
So let's grab your favorite pink bag here. And so we had talked about that front load position and our squats. Now, how can we get the same load? 20. Then I think we only have 20 pounds in it, maybe 25. 25 pounds in this. We can effectively change how you perceive that weight from that front load into this. So now we're going to squat again. We're still pulling the shoulders down and back, still the same cues, and we're going to squat. So this 25 pounds, how it feels in the front load, feels a little heavier here because of the demand. So now it's a little bit farther away from the body. Now, what I didn't notice from the side, we're going to bring the elbows in. If you see this position, planks are our favorite thing to do. When in doubt, we always plank, right?
I love
And
planking.
so this is a vertical plank. Let's turn sideways. Yep, there you go. We are in a plank position, so we're pulling the shoulder blades down. We're radiating tension through that. This is our vertical plank. Every movement that we do involves the core. And so if you think planks are, if you think this is not working the core, you got another thing coming, because we have to be able to be strong through the core, through our abdominals. The core has 37 muscles, so it's just not these. It's down into the glutes, down in through the lats. It's this section. This is our core. We have to be strong, or else we're going to be like our friends down here at Krieger's when they have the
wobbly man.
The wobbly man, whatever they call it. That's exactly how we feel, and then that can actually.
I thought you were talking crap about Joey and John. I was like,
no,
I'm just kidding.
But that's how we feel. But then you think, okay, hey, I'm going to be this light pole out there.
Yep.
And when I'm strong through here,
Yep.
I'm able to move so much more efficiently and
Yeah.
appropriately. There again, that front hold, we can get into our squat, which we just did. Do a drop step lunge. So we're just going to step back and do our lunge. Exactly. And so let's see, what else can we do? A march. There again, we got our marches right here. I've not changed it. I've just changed the position, the holding position. That's the wonderful thing about our sandbag training.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the shoulder. So now we have a shouldered weight. We can still pull this shoulder down and back, but guess what? Now we've taken the weight off center and in an unstable load, creating stability. So now we can squat. And so what this does is this weight's trying to pull us, and guess what? We have to recruit those core muscles to keep us from rotating. We can do a lunge, we can do the same side lunge, just like that, or we can go the other way, so a left lunge.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
my goodness, that side's a little weak.
We
And-
know that side's a little weaker.
and we can
on
still
the stability.
and we can still go and still do our marches. I mean, that's and you almost think that it's endless in regards to our programming. Let's talk about suitcase. Let's grab the suitcase handle. So same side. Let's do a same side lunge. So you're going to do a right lunge. Yep. There you go. Yep. You're going to keep the arms long. Yep. There, exactly it. So, I mean, granted, you're not going to do this through the Hy-Vee parking lot, but think about the plastic bags. This is a real world example of working out in this manner, and then we're getting our groceries. We can do, let's see, we can do our same march. Here's one in today's workout. I know you're coming to 4:30, and so here's today's workout. What I want you to do is you're going to do a left lunge, and as your lunge, you're going to bring that bag around.
Okay.
Yep. And then come back, drive through, and stand up. The demands from here have to happen, or guess what? That bag's gonna pull you this way.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're still working core, and we're doing a lunge.
Yeah.
Let's see, where else can we go? Our simple deadlift. We're gonna talk about hinges in 4 weeks from now, the next time I'm in. So let's put the bag on the ground. So this time we're gonna start with our neutral handles. So it's a strong grip. We pull those handles apart, and that sets the shoulders, and we keep that throughout the duration of the movement. So we come up, and this is our hinge pattern. This is what everybody knows about deadlifts. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I want you to keep the left hand on that grip, and then we're gonna go offset. So now in theory what this is, and go ahead and do our deadlift, what this is, it's biasing the weight towards the left hand, and this is a one-arm deadlift, and we're just guiding it with this right hand. Effort-wise, probably 70-30, but this is more of a one-arm deadlift. There again, if we're not able to do this, we can go back to the bilateral neutral grips, and then we can go from there. So this is, I mean, these are all the things that we're able to do, and I think that's all I had to talk about. But you can see the versatility of having each of those handles, having different holding positions. I'm not changing the workout for you. I'm just changing the demands on your body to have success for you.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's different bags, there's different everything, and that's what I loved coming in to my first class. It was not only, I mean, I could be using, this sounds petty a little bit, but so I could be using a bag that looked exactly the same as my person next to me.
Yes.
But it's my first day, and I'm like, oh, I'm going for the 10, and they may have 20, but you know, like, it doesn't make you, it kind of helps boost your confidence. You talked about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that petty? I don't know.
No,
it builds your confidence, and that's what it takes.
Absolutely building confidence.
But now I don't go for the 10-pound bag anymore, and it's only been a few weeks.
Exactly.
So.
And when we can cue you, having those external cues of ripping the ground apart, pulling the handles apart, instead of just saying.
And you don't have to wear shoes.
Oh, that is absolutely. And that goes into the strong hands, strong feet mindset.
Yeah.
Our shoes lie to us. If you have shoes, just throw them away. No, I'm kidding.
No.
But think about when you wear high heels. Think about the shoes. I mean, you may have flat feet. You may have high arches, plantar fasciitis. When we wear shoes, and this is our arch, so when we get that comfort of a support, what happens? The arch goes,
Oh, thank goodness.
and it is a wonderful feeling, but guess what? It's not getting strong. So if we're able to, and I will cue you, especially wearing, or not wearing shoes, to grab the ground.
Yep.
It is a different type of feel, but when I can see you grabbing the ground and I see that big toe all of a sudden kind of pop up, I see it automatically. I can't see it if you're wearing shoes. Yep. We don't say if you don't do barefoot training, you can't be a member. No,
right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Some people want to wear shoes, and that's okay. We can still cue you the same way, but it's beneficial to see you without shoes and to help you better. I want to show you one more handle change. We're going to go over into the power or the strength bag. Excuse me, the blue one. Oh, I'm going to have to get on you as far as pulling. Do you see how you see how you lifted that, right? Yeah, that's okay. Real world applications.
Yep.
So now what I want you to do, these handles are a little farther. See that handle? Now we have a flap on this side. So what I want you to do is get this underneath, and I want you to grip strong on there. So now we've changed the demands here as you go heavier. Now you really have to grab strong in here. Let's go ahead and do a deadlift. It's still a different manner. We're still getting a strong grip here. We're still going one arm dominant on this deadlift. But yeah, I wanted to show you that one in regards to a different holding position.
I can feel this a lot more through my arm and stuff. For sure.
And like I said, I think I said this earlier, tension is good when we're working out. Irradiated tension is what we're looking for. So when we drive through the ground, radiating tension all the way up into the glute. When we're squeezing, especially if we're in high plank, but especially as we're grabbing the bag, that strong grip irradiates tension all the way up. Positive tension that helps you perform the lift not only more efficiently, but also safely.
Yeah. Yeah. So much cool stuff.
It is. And it may seem overwhelming, but that's my job as a coach and obviously the owner. And when Autumn coaches as well, when we have our fill-in coach, Cindy, when she does that, she's also DVRT certified, that she knows this as well. And so the modifications for your success, that's what we're aiming to do. And then we can get you into where everybody is, or where you are performing at a better level, at a higher level, gaining confidence. Had a couple new athletes start on Monday.
Yeah.
that's the one thing. You feel awkward anyway, coming into a new environment, new people, and then these I'm not going to say weird, but these different movements. And it's a little bit like Bambi on ice. But when I cue you appropriately, you start gaining that confidence. And you can see that when we program 5, 6, 7 different movements, when you get into that 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe that 6th round, the brain and the body then start connecting. It's like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to feel. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then that aha moment happens.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, that's what I have on holding positions. 11 different ones.
Yeah.
And we've not changed any of the movements on a squat, on a lunge, on a deadlift. So
there's a lot of things to do.
Yes.
I mean, I've told you guys this before, but come and try it out. And the first time's free.
First class is always free.
Come check it out.
I mean, it's something that we want you to just drop in. We want to be able to have the appropriate amount of coaches. Right now our class size is at 10. The amount of new members and new athletes that we're getting, we're going to start bumping that up a little bit, but just not dropping in. Give us a shout. The phone numbers either go to Autumn or myself. The email us through our website, and email us directly. Let us know you're coming in, or just go ahead and register for that first free class. Set up an account, and that way we know you're coming in. Then we'll talk to you a little bit more, do a movement assessment on you. That helps me. If I see, we've had a lot of people that have hardware, whether it's in, because life happens, whether it's in the foot, in the ankle, in the hips. One was in a car accident 2.5 years ago, and very, very much she did a great job on her rehab. So now we're looking at building that stability into her routine. But whether it's a rod as a femur, a new knee, that helps me to be able to understand how you're going to move and how I can help you get out of those compensation patterns, and then there again making you a better you, and you feeling better.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned, like, since all my surgeries and stuff, I mean, we've seen it in class, like the ways that, like, things that you'd think would be so simple compared to the other movements that I've had, and I'm like, oh crap, this is super hard. Well, oh yeah, they just like sliced through all my muscles a while ago.
Yes.
That's at my, but it takes a while to click, but we're, those are things that we're working through in class, and there's a whole class of people, and we can still change things up in class, and I'm still doing the same things other people are. We just kind of maneuver things a little bit so that I can still do it and do it safely. And
I'll add, we don't work 100% through sandbags. We use kettlebells, we use body weight training. We have a rower, we have ski erg, the lovely assault bike. We throw in some cardio at times as we need, but cardio in terms of whether it's a bike, a rower, a ski erg is different than the cardio produced when we do our HIIT workouts. The high intensity interval training, even if you're working for 20 seconds, our thing is work hard for those 20 seconds to earn that 40 seconds worth of rest. Work hard for that 30 to get that 30 rest. And on Fridays, work hard for a minute to get that minute's rest. Body needs that recharge. And when you come out on the other side, you go, wow, that was a good workout, a great workout. And I can still function as a human being. It might be a little sore.
I could still go into the weekend and walk.
Exactly.
Well, mostly walk.
Right.
Unless it's squat day. No. But I hope you guys enjoyed just this little tiny tidbit. I mean, there's so much more, but we're going to continue to bring this, like you said, every month, just a little bit more, and hopefully, even throughout. On Wellness Wednesdays, we'll bring you other stuff, and Autumn will continue to bring you nutrition information on her days. And I've already lined up some doctors to come in and talk about other, health and wellness things on other Wednesdays. So continue to join us on Wellness Wednesdays, and we're excited, and we're so glad that Impact is supporting that and sponsoring this for us on the show. I've been wanting to do it forever. So we're going to go to a commercial break really quick. Thank you so much for coming in again and taking time out of your day. And then I have a few more things to share with you before the show ends today. But quick break for commercials, and we'll be right back.